I'm back. زمان مرة ما نزلت صورة مقطع قبل هذا، بس صارت مشكلة في الكاميرا ما أدري شيء، فقلت والمقطع ما كان حلو فغيرت المقطع. المرة دي مو باب الحارة، مو كيتشن نايت ميرز، لا. واحد راح يتوقع يشيك على بيت العجزة ذا ولقى البيت كله جثث. ايش كنت بقول؟ هذه الحاجات هذه بدأت أتابعها في قناة اسمها لوس بولوس، قناة كذا حقت ناس أجانب، أبو وولدها قاعد يتابعوا حاجات كذا دمان وحاجات زي كذا، يعني مو دمان، يعني جرائم قتل وكذا. وراعي القناة ذا ما شاء الله عليه، يعني هي بس الجريمة نفسها هي موجودة برا كذا، يعني في اليوتيوب هو يجمعها من نفسه. تخيلين كيف؟ يعني مرة ممتاز. المهم
A missing check-in sparks the first alarm.
And I'm a little bit concerned. We were supposed to we had an
وحشتوني.
she missed.
معكم ما تعرفوني ولا عمر شفت وجهكم، بس أنتم تعرفوني.
They entered the
أنت شفت وجهي وأنا
house,
ما
and
شفت
that's when
وجهكم،
the nightmare
شيء غريب،
begins.
بس وحشتوني. كيف التهليقة الجديدة؟
And a desperate spouse who started to crumble the moment the divorce papers were served.
That's another body. This is Michael here.
Every hallway in this house tells a different story.
We need to clear the house. Clear here. We have one more in this bed. Appears to be a gunshot to the face.
You're about to step into that hallway.
One more outside. Blood on bed.
إيش جثة فوق؟ إيش هذا؟
Welcome back to the channel, where we break down true crime cases one room at a time. If you're ready to see what happens when control turns dark, and what signs get buried before a disaster unfolds, before we dive in, if someone you know is isolated, controlled, or living in fear, share this video. It might be the sign they're waiting for. Stay tuned, because in the next minute, we're walking through that front door. It was January 4th, 2023. Just a regular afternoon in Enoch, Utah. Around 4 o'clock, a woman called the police, said she was worried about her friend Tasha Haight. Now, Tasha wasn't the type to miss appointments, and that's exactly what had her friend on edge.
معلش ما في مقاطع مترجمة للعربية يعني.
They had to do some paperwork, and I'm a little bit concerned. We were supposed to we had an appointment scheduled that she missed. She doesn't ever miss appointments. Is there any way I can set up to do a well check at her home?
Michael Haight was born in Seattle in 1980. The next year, his family moved to Cedar City, Utah. Michael finished high school in 1998 and then left for Brazil. He spent 2 years there on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. When he came back, he enrolled at Southern Utah University to study business. That's where he met Tasha. They got married in the St. George Temple in 2003. Over the years, they had 5 children. Church life was a big part of their world. Tasha stayed home with the kids. Michael worked for Allstate. Some people drove long distances just to meet with him. He was the kind of insurance agent who followed up, double-checked, and chased the best rates. From the outside, they looked solid. But of course, not everything is what it seems. Michael cared a lot about how things looked, what people thought of him, what people thought of his family. That was the focus. Not actually fixing the problems, but hiding them. Tasha had been trying to speak up for a while. She told Michael things weren't working. She said his behavior was controlling, sometimes even abusive, and she didn't just say it once. She'd been saying it for years. And that concern, it wasn't a secret anymore.
Okay, and you said she was supposed to go back home last night, was it?
Yeah, she was away with her parents for like a week, I think, with the kids, and was going to go home last night as they had some divorce paperwork. But I know that she was a little bit concerned for her safety that way, and I just want to make sure she's okay. I can't get her by phone or email, and it's not like her to miss an appointment. It's only been an hour. It's not even yet, it's been an hour.
But her friend already knew something wasn't right. Money was one big way Michael controlled his wife. He was the only one working, so he controlled the finances. Each week, he gave Tasha $300 for groceries. That was it. And one week, she spent $30 more. Not on something big, just a small rug to replace the one in the kitchen that had gotten ruined. When Michael found out, he got angry. Told her she should have put food back instead. That no matter what, she shouldn't have gone over the limit. For Tasha, Christmas that year had been tight too. Michael gave her $100 per child to spend. 5 kids, $500. Tasha had stretched it out the best she could. She was proud of what she pulled off. But still, something didn't sit right. Tasha started saving, just a little from her monthly allowance, tucking it away for something she knew was coming: divorce. When the day finally came, she handed him the papers. But even then, Michael refused to leave.
Makes it look like you're abandoning your family. And so that can be an argument used against a parent that leaves.
He stayed right there in the house. The dispatcher asked the caller to confirm that.
Okay, do her and her ex still live together?
Yes. That was what the situation was. He was refusing to leave the home, and that's what the paperwork was. She was going to file paperwork.
Once when the kitchen table started to fall apart, Michael didn't ask how it happened. He blamed Tasha, said it was her fault for not controlling the kids, and he made it clear he wasn't paying for a new one. So Tasha handled it herself. She got the supplies, sanded it down, and refinished the whole thing in an afternoon, quietly, without asking for anything. But when Michael came home, he wasn't impressed. He wasn't thankful either. He got upset, not because the table looked bad, but because she hadn't asked for permission. Michael took her car keys when he didn't want her going anywhere. Took her phone too, just to keep her still. But even when people were over, they didn't talk freely, not inside. Tasha thought the house might be bugged, so conversations stayed quiet. Even her text messages were stripped down, just enough to sound cheerful, never too detailed. She didn't want to give Michael a reason to dig, and honestly, it seemed like he was digging, watching, maybe even recording.
Can I give you a big hug? No? How about tickles?
Most of these recordings look like this because Michael recorded his family secretly. He knew this might turn into an ugly legal battle, so he started to curate evidence that portrayed him in good light. Tasha never saw these videos. Videos that looked like everything was fine.
You need my help? You 3 go in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, come here.
Tasha had been opening up about her relationship, bit by bit. She told her friends she wasn't sure what Michael would do if he found out.
Okay, she said that to you specifically that she was concerned for her welfare about going home?
Yes, she had some concerns about that, and I had some concerns just from talking to her, too. I was encouraging her not to do that, but I'm not sure what she decided, but I know her plan was to go home.
Okay, why is she concerned?
He has had some violent tendencies in the past, and I believe CPS has been involved, and I actually believe she came and spoke to your police department a couple weeks ago to let her know divorce was upcoming, just because she didn't really trust him.
Tasha once told a neighbor about some of Michael's little rules, things that might have seemed harmless at first, like how he made her wash and reuse plastic bags, or cut baby wipes in half. Sure, it looked like a way to save money, but it wasn't just about saving. It was about control. He controlled the food budget. He controlled the gas. He even controlled how many squares of a wipe could be used at a time. And it wasn't just Tasha he was watching. It was the kids, too.
Okay, and you said she missed an appointment today. Was that like an appointment for you guys to meet up together, or?
Yeah, I'm actually out of state. Otherwise, I would probably check on her myself, but we had a time we were going to meet. We're going to do a video chat.
Okay.
Do you
know, by chance, in the past, like, can you explain to me, like, how he was violent? Was it just...
I know they had a well check with CPS down there. It was with one of the kids. He just has anger issues.
In January of 2021, their daughter Macy called Child Services herself. She was a teenager, but she'd seen enough. That day, they were all in the car, driving down the freeway. Michael started screaming at Tasha. Then, out of nowhere, he yanked the wheel, swerved hard. The seatbelts dug into the kids so badly, it left red marks across their bodies. It wasn't the only time he lost control. Macy said he'd once grabbed her by the shoulders and slammed her head into the edge of the couch. She remembered how he'd stand over her and her siblings, nose to nose, breathing heavy, trying to scare them into silence. To him, it felt like everyone in the family was secretly working against him.
I'm a little curious why you're so wanting me so aggressively to move out of here too, you know, and not let the system play out, and why you're feeling like you have to get some motion to remove me from here.
Our kids have mentioned, especially our older two, have mentioned that when you're here, it is more tense.
I know that right now they're kind of taking your side.
Michael didn't need a substance to lose his temper. He already had a pattern, and it was getting worse. One Sunday after church, the whole family was gathered in the living room. When 12-year-old Briley started playing with a phone charger, just fidgeting, like kids do. Michael told her to stop. She didn't. That was enough to set him off. He jumped up, started screaming, not at Briley, but at Tasha. Said they had the worst kids in the world, called them disrespectful and awful. Then he turned on Tasha, called her fat, ugly, a terrible mother. That moment hit her hard. This wasn't normal. And if her kids weren't reacting to rage like that, it meant they'd been living in it too long. So she made a decision. She was done. Tasha met with an attorney named James Park and asked him to draw up divorce papers. This was September 2022, but even then, she didn't want to ruin the holidays for the kids. The papers were delivered to Michael at his Allstate office on December 27th. Tasha made sure the kids were safe at a neighbor's place, just in case he exploded when he got home. But he didn't. He called her, acting all calm, like nothing had happened, asked how her day was going. She asked if he got any papers at work. He said yeah. He figured they were divorce papers. Then, still acting cool, he told her to be gone before he got home. But the kids, he said they'd be staying with him. That didn't happen. Tasha left the house that day and stayed with her mother, Gail. And of course, she took her 5 children with her. No way she was leaving them with Michael. But Michael didn't back off. He came by Gail's house more than once that weekend. Kept trying to get Tasha to come for a drive with him. Just the two of them. Said they should talk. Tasha shut him down. Told him she had a terrible feeling, that she didn't trust him. Then she closed the door in his face. On Sunday, they went to church like usual, but she wouldn't let Michael sit with them. Michael cared a lot about how things looked. Sitting alone in church without his family felt like a public shaming. People noticed, people talked, and for a man like Michael, being embarrassed in public was a dangerous thing.
And do you know if there are any weapons involved?
I've been talking about that. There are firearms in the house. I think they're locked up. I was actually encouraging her to get those out and turn them into you because I knew in Utah you could do that. I used to practice. I know they had guns, but she thought they were safe, locked up, because I was trying to ask if he would have access to those. But I don't know what happened that way.
يا أخي أمريكا دي أقسم يكون عندهم أسلحة. مين عنده أسلحة في البيت؟ أمريكا عندهم الغريبين يعني.
At least locked up in their house. But I think
أنا أقوى سلاح عندي شوك ولا سكين.
Tasha had started telling her family that Michael was acting off. It started after the divorce papers. He didn't leave like he was supposed to. Even his lawyer had told him to move out, but he wouldn't. He stayed in the house, down in the basement, sleeping on a thin sleeping bag in the exercise room. He kept to himself, but he wasn't exactly invisible either. He moved around like someone with a plan. One he wasn't sharing.
Trying to help provide and trying to be a good husband for you. And I'm sorry I have fallen short in ways.
You do need help. I hope you can get it. I want you to.
Hon, I want it. I've told you.
I deserve to be treated so much better.
Tasha also discovered that the savings accounts they'd built up for each of their kids, about $20,000 each, had been empty.
Wow.
Michael had taken it all out. But what really sent chills through her was when she found out that every single firearm in the house had been removed. Even the hunting rifles passed down from her dad. Even the handgun she kept next to her bed. Tasha had learned to shoot from her mother, Gail. Her sister, Jenny, had too. They weren't strangers to guns. They respected them, knew how to use them. But now, those guns were gone, and Michael was the only one who knew where they went.
I cannot continue to tolerate the way you treated me. I'm done. You have shut those down every time. So I don't have a voice, Mike. I don't have a voice. I will have freedom now.
The next day, things only got more quiet. Too quiet. The police had already been called once asking for a welfare check, but now, another call came in. The message was simple and chilling.
It's been 20 hours since we have heard from anyone.
The silence was beginning to speak for itself. The welfare check began at 2:20 in the afternoon. Officers knocked on the front door of 4923 North Albert Drive.
يا أخي ما أدخل بس البيوت الأمريكية أقسم بالله حلوة شايفين كيف مرة حلوة يعني لو واحد يتزوج يدخل هنا تلعب مع عيالك كذا الساحة الأمامية هذه الفرونت يارد والله روقان الصدق ولا تروح تطلع تمشي الصباح.
No footsteps, no voices.
البيوت
Not even
السعودية
the
حلوة
creak
بس
of movement behind the walls. They
الأمريكية
waited about 20
غير
minutes before trying again.
شايفين كيف مرة حلوة مثلج كمان يا الروقان والله حلو والله صح عنا جوا جوتة الحين بس والله البيت مرة حلو مرة حلو. هذه 2023 ايش كنت قاعد تسوي 2023 شهر 1 يوم 4 كنت اتوقع
no answer. Eventually they circled the house, hoping to spot something through a window or hear anything at all.
اللقطات هذه كلها ترى وراء القناة ذا هو اللي مجمعها يعني والله إنه أسطورة حرفيا. إيش اسمه هو؟ اسمه كرايم إكسبلورر. شكرا لك يا أخي. هذه ما تلقاها بالأفلام الحاجات هذه. يو يا الحي اقسم بالله حيهم مره حلو والله يا اخي اقسم بالله شكلي يا اخي بروح اسافر اعيش في امريكا بتزوج هنا واخذ زوجتي وبعد ما اتوظف كذا ندور مكان في امريكا هسه رايق مره.
I'll have someone go buy it.
But the home stayed quiet. Too quiet. Officers on the scene got an update from Cedar City Police. Michael hadn't shown up to work. He'd missed all his scheduled appointments. Then came a 911 call from Tasha's brother.
Michael's wife served him with divorce papers within the last 2 weeks. And he's kind of been struggling with it, whatnot. But
that changed everything. It was no longer just a routine check-in. With no contact from inside the home, officers decided to try another route. They reached out to the kids' school district to see if they could track them, and none of them had shown up for school. Officers tried everything they could to reach someone. No response from Michael, no response from Tasha, and now no trace of the children either. One of the officers reached out to see if any of his colleagues had a connection to the family. Someone did, a family friend. They had a key. By 4 p.m., police stepped inside.
Yeah. Sorry, they were just asking. There's 5 kids.
Okay.
The officers barely had time to process what they were walking into. They'd just stepped inside when the first child was found.
Phoenix City Police Department.
وش طخه ولا خنقه ولا ايش سوى له؟
Phoenix City Police Department. Yeah.
ايش صار فيه؟ شايفين كيف سواد معطين كل حاجه فما احنا عارفين ايش صار في الولد.
Cedar 673 prioritize this channel. I have 2 on the bed. I'm gonna clear the home.
They moved quickly from room to room. Time felt like it slowed down.
Phoenix City Police Department. Anybody in the home, make yourself known. I'm gonna clear this room. Nobody.
الحين لو انه طخهم المفروض الجيران يسمعوا صح؟
Phoenix City
اتوقع
Police
انه
Department.
خنقهم ولا سوى لهم شيء.
Anybody in the house?
بس لو خنقهم ما في احد راح يطلع يصارخ ولا شيء.
Then another officer stepped in to help.
Where have you gone?
We need to clear the house. Clear here. We have one more in this bed. Appears to be a gunshot to the face.
It was like a nightmare. No one wanted to believe what they were seeing.
Check in this room back here.
وكم له كانوا ميتين.
Want to see stairs? Clear. Making good. I'm checking here. No, you're good. Wait. Yeah. One more. Gunshot back ahead.
طب كيف خنق ضرب ذبح طخ
No
إيش
screams,
كيف
no signs of a struggle. Just silence. After clearing the main floor, the officers headed for the basement. It was a single-family home, 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 more down below, along with a workout room that had been used as someone's makeshift bedroom. That's where Michael Haight had been staying since the divorce papers were filed.
That's the head.
Boys, down here, make yourself known.
2, 4, 6. Hold right there, Chief. New York City Police Department. One more up top. Blood on bed.
Bathroom here.
Yeah, mess. One more down here.
Bathroom's clear.
Check in this room. Another gunshot. Or, sorry, I don't know that, but appears to be.
And it
أوكي.
didn't stop there. The officers kept
يخسرونهم بعد ما
going,
طخوا.
and they knew there was still one more room. And sure enough, in that last bedroom,
One more.
إيش
What else? Just a vacuum that's gonna fall.
until now, every door had been unlocked. They'd moved room to room without having to break anything. But now, they found a locked one. Whoever was behind that door might still be alive. Or they might be staring down the person who did all this.
Go.
Sauna. That way. Left. Opening. Safes. Got keys in 2
أتوقع
safes
الزوج
down
موجود
here.
هنا.
Clear here.
أوه ما في أحد هناك.
Assuming this is outside.
Then came the final discovery.
Got another. This is Michael here.
أوه مايكل الزوج ميت.
They found Michael in the workout room. Michael Haight was lying on his back on top of a sleeping bag, a .40 caliber pistol between his legs. He'd shoved tissue into both ears. Right beside him was a handwritten note. Text from the note. I've been an honorable good man who has tried to do my best to provide for my family. I've never seen someone who is so intent on finding faults in others. I've tried helping, but it generally backfires, and I seem to always get blamed. I've been complained about every step of the way. She's been so awful to me and my family for years, and I've generally been patient, trying to work through her issues with my family. This is nonsense, and I can't handle it for one more day. I kept asking for help, and you wouldn't listen. Around 3 a.m. on January 4th, 2023, a woman got up to use the bathroom. Nothing out of the ordinary, just one of those routine late-night walks through the hallway in the dark. But as she passed the window, she heard it. She got angry. Fireworks? In January? It wasn't New Year's Eve anymore. Who even does that? But these weren't fireworks. They were gunshots, coming from the Haight house next door. And by the time the sun came up, every one of them inside was already gone. 8 people shot and killed. All from the same family. Michael Haight, 42. Tasha Haight, 40. Gail Earl, Tasha's 78-year-old mother. And 5 children. Macy, 17. Briley, 12. Twins Ammon and Sienna, 7. Gavin, 4. Michael killed them all, then turned the gun on himself. Police didn't need a confession. Michael had left his thoughts in the open, on his browser. 5 days before the murders, on December 30th, 2022, Michael had been researching. How loud is a 9mm gunshot? Would a neighbor hear a gunshot in a garage? How loud is a gunshot in a house? He didn't search for help, or counseling, or how to handle a divorce. He searched how not to get caught. Michael had been served divorce papers on December 21st. Days later, every gun in the home, except the one he used, was removed. He didn't just plan to kill. He planned to make sure Tasha had no way to fight back. He admitted going through Tasha's phone and tablet, looking for signs she was talking to others about their family. Tasha told the officer she didn't want to press charges. Maybe she thought it would stop. Maybe she didn't want the community to see behind the curtain. Even the officer told her there was no indication that Michael would ever become violent. He was wrong. And now, the cost of that silence was 8 lives. In the quiet days that followed, the town tried to make sense of something that would never truly make sense.
7 hearses line the parking lot of the Laverkin Stake Center of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Michael Haight didn't snap. He made a series of choices. Calculated, cruel, and final. Tasha did everything right.
I'm done. You have shut those down every time. So I don't have a voice, Mike. I don't have a voice. I will have freedom now.
She spoke up. She asked for help. She filed for divorce. And still, it wasn't enough. Because sometimes no amount of distance or paperwork can stop a person who's decided that if they can't own something, no one will. This story doesn't end with a lesson tied in a bow. It ends with 7 lives stolen. Stay safe, stay sharp, and pay attention to the quiet signs before they turn loud. See you in the next one.
المقطع على الشكل حقهم مستحيل العيلة دي